I hate walking, but I don't want to call it Uber. I've been calling Ubers for the past week handling business. So I have to be financially responsible. I'm pretty much just going outside to look pretty.
There's been no activity on her phone or social media accounts.
Like when I texted her and I didn't get a text back.
At work one moment and gone the next. They also say she was being harassed over the phone by a stranger.
Is there fear that somebody got obsessed with her and fell in love with her and found out where she worked and everything and maybe went and grabbed her?
It's a possibility, yes. Anything can happen.
However, we're doing a deep dive on all her social media as we speak, and those are things we're going to be looking at, internal messages, posts, or things like that. But as of right now, then nothing.
And I think it's just crazy that she just up and disappeared. And it's not a situation of like, oh, she was in the hood or anything like that. Like, she was at work, which her job is literally in Philadelphia suburbs.
Commissioner, has the department been able to reach the man who or person who's suspected of harassment?
I'm not going to comment on our interviews and all. We're reaching out to everybody we can.
There's been an interview.
In the days leading up to her disappearance, 23-year-old Kada Scott confided in family and friends that someone had been harassing her by phone. But still, from the outside looking in, Kada seemed determined not to live in fear. She continued showing up for work, and she continued her presence on social media, building her brand, sharing updates, and staying active online. Her family and the media have both described her as being very active on social media, but her main account told a different story. On her main social media account, the last post Kada made was on August the 31st, 2025. She captioned it with an 8-ball emoji and a black heart. On this account, she had turned the comments off. Now, whether this was due to the harassment she mentioned or simply a personal choice is unknown, but the comments were not open. Now, from time to time, Kada would share photos there, but it was a repost on that same main account that told the story she had already been sharing privately, that she had been feeling harassed. In a repost that she shared just days before she vanished, it said, "Girls just want to walk home in peace." A simple sentence, but when you consider what she had told her family about being harassed, those words take on a chilling weight. And the timing of that post makes it all more haunting because it came just days before she would disappear. Meanwhile, on her business account, the last post she would make came the day before she vanished. October the 3rd, 2025, it was a photo of her shopping with the caption, "Smart women shop smart." And on the next day, on October the 4th, 2025, Kada vanished. Now, I am going to play the snippet of the last interview that she did. However, I do want you to keep this in mind as we move into her disappearance, is that Kada had told friends and family that she was being harassed. Now, when this started is unknown, but people are connecting the fact that she said she was being harassed and she had just started working at this nursing home within the last couple of weeks. So whoever was harassing her had her phone number and was calling her. Now, if this was someone who was at her job, authorities will not confirm, but what authorities will tell us, I will play that for you. So listen to this.
Like, you was nervous and all that, right? Mm-hmm. So like, what you do to like break out of that habit? Like, so you, I mean, like, you know, like you gonna still feel adrenaline when you making content, but like, what made you more comfortable, like, as you started to progress with it?
Okay, so if I'm getting honest, I like to listen to rap as well. So besides R&B, I listen to rap, and I feel like rap really gives me that confidence to just be like, you know what, I'm really like that. Like certain artists, like for example, G Herbo. I listen to G Herbo. I'm not gonna lie.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite rapper. Yeah.
So, and I just feel like her be talking his ish, you know what I mean? And I feel like he's from Chicago, and Philly, they are relatable when it comes to gun violence and stuff like that. So a lot of people who are from Philly and Chicago, we have this mindset of like we just gotta go get it. We done lost people, etc. And he definitely is like an artist that I listen to just boost my energy and my confidence because like he's cocky. And yeah, when I listen to that, I get in my bag. I take all of, my products out. I listen to him or, other artists as well. I put my headphones in and I like my music super loud. I like to tune out and just really remember who I am, honestly.
Absolutely.
And that's what helps me.
Come home and be safe. That's what I feel, that she's not safe. And
Kim
that's the
Matthews has been unable to eat and sleep since her daughter, 23-year-old Kada Scott, was reported missing on Sunday. Kada's father, Kevin Scott, says the family remains positive as they hang these flyers describing her as 5'6" and weighing 120 pounds.
It's my oldest daughter. I love her. Last few days been crazy, head spinning.
Okay, so I want you to pay attention to this part because it's going to talk about the night that she disappeared, the facility, whether they have cameras, because a lot of people have been wondering, why don't they just go back and look at the cameras? And then, of course, people have said if they don't have cameras and if the harassment started when she started working there because someone was calling her phone, they had to have known her number. So what are your thoughts about that? But listen to this clip.
Matthews says it was just like any other Saturday night. She saw Scott at home before she left for her 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift at the terrace at Chestnut Hill on East Abington Avenue. The Penn State grad recently started working at the assisted living facility as she pursued her entrepreneurial dreams.
Creative spirit, very artistic.
Philadelphia police say Scott was last seen leaving work in her black scrubs shortly after she arrived, but now there is no trace of her. Detectives say the facility does not have surveillance cameras and they recovered her vehicle still parked outside.
Okay, so this is the news clip that I want you guys to really pay attention to for a few different reasons. In this clip, you'll hear authorities say that Kada's mom was the last person to see her. That's important. But also listen closely to what he says about what they verified regarding her work. Social media users have already been questioning that, pointing out that if her mom was the last one to see her, what about her job? Didn't she go to work? The reporter also mentions a possible theory connected to her social media activity that's worth noting too. Keep in mind, this is still an ongoing investigation. Authorities have provided an update, and while they haven't released a lot of information, what they did confirm, I'll go over when we get to the latest press conference. But for now, just listen to this clip carefully, especially the part about who last saw her and what they verified about her workplace. Then drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think. Listen to this.
Told friends she was being harassed by someone on the phone.
She did mention it to them, but didn't give any names, names or anything like that. So we're trying to piece everything together to find out exactly who these people are.
Detectives say they're analyzing her cell phone data in hopes of identifying that person.
It's stapled missing flyers where their niece, 23-year-old Kada Scott, was last seen before she just vanished.
She was last seen by her mother the night before at approximately 9:50 p.m. when Miss Scott was leaving for work.
Her phone been off since Saturday, well, to my knowledge, since Sunday morning, and it's going completely right straight to voicemail.
Kada is seen here when competing in the Miss Philadelphia Township pageant, just started working 2 weeks ago here at the terrace at Chestnut Hill Senior Home to help pay for her college. She was working a 10 p.m. Saturday to 6 a.m. Sunday shift, just 5 minutes from her home, but she went missing here before her shift even ended, where we found what police did. No surveillance or security video cameras around here.
We do know she did arrive at work. She works at a nearby nursing home. However, we know that she left prior to her shift's completion.
She did not work her full shift. The car was still sitting in the parking lot. So it's like she vanished. They would, no cameras, no nothing. So where is she?
What do you think's going on here? What do you think happened?
I have no idea. That's the problem. We're trying to piece it together. She went into a job for a normal shift, and she didn't finish the shift and come home. So that's when the problem started. And that's where we're at right now, trying to figure out what's going on, where she's at. When did she actually leave the facility?
We did interview coworkers. There was nothing too extravagant in their statements.
Police say Scott had recently told family and friends a stranger or strangers were harassing her over the phone. Police processed her car and found nothing to hint foul play. But missing are the car keys, Kada's iPad, iPhone, and Apple Watch. None of them now traceable. All of which police sources say she used to grow a big following on social media and now wonder if a follower is involved in her disappearance somehow.
Now, Kada Scott's social media has been at the center of her disappearance because the news, as you heard, said that she used her devices to grow a large following on social media. So on her main social media account, in her bio, she had a woman of many masterpieces. She had 13 posts on there, 368 followers, and she was following 198 people. Now, on her business account, she had multiple business accounts, but the one that she was active on was her fitness business account that she just created in September. She had 8 posts, 10 followers, and she was following one person, which was her main account. Now, prior to her last post, which I said at the beginning of the video, on October the 3rd, she made a post on September the 26th, again, promoting fitness, promoting this business venture that she was on. And she made another one on September the 26th. Prior to these 2 posts that she made on that account, the very first post that she made on this account, was on September the 16th, and she had a caption and it said, "The ball is in my court now and I'm not missing a shot." That was on September the 26th. Now, she does have a public profile that is out there and available, so I'm not showing anything that shouldn't be shown, and it just says that she graduated from Penn State University, which has been mentioned in the news, with her bachelor's degree, and that was in 2023. Her family also said in that news clip that the reason why she got this job at this nursing facility 2 weeks ago was so that she can continue her college courses, and she was an entrepreneur. She had multiple accounts that she had created for fitness, for makeup, for all different types of art, just different business things that she was pursuing, but she wasn't simultaneously active on all of these pages at one. It looks like she may have went and got a business venture. She put a little bit of time and effort into it, and then she decided to do something else, like the true entrepreneur that her family described her as. Now, her friends have been reposting and sharing the news reports that have come out, but one of her friends did make a status, and what her friend said was, "Still missing," crying as I type this, because never in my life I would have ever thought I would be posting something like this. Wherever you are, I'm praying to God that you are safe. I pray He protects you and guides you back home. I pray that you know and remember how much you are loved and missed right now. Anyone that know her and I know that we would always have falling outs, but no matter what, we found our way back to each other. She was my girl, my friend. She's someone who knows my secrets. She saw me down bad and I loved her. If I had it, she had it, and vice versa. Please come back home. Your family and friends miss you. We all want you back home. Please don't stop sharing. Please spread the word in her face and continue to pray. So just as she said, please feel free to share this link so that others can see the coverage so that she can be found. As of the date of this recording, which is on October the 11th of 2025, currently she is still missing. Now, I'm going to play the latest update in here from her family, but before we get into that, I'll play a snippet from the interview and then we'll get into the press conference. So listen to this.
Anything like that? Like, what made you start modeling and stuff like that?
So honestly, as far as modeling, I was in my first music video at 18. So basically I wanted to model, whatever. I always grew up watching America's Next Top Model and stuff like that. And I think that show is off now because of all of the controversy and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let me just still try to model and do it my own way. I never had a manager or anything like that. So The one photo shoot I did do, I paid for it out of pocket. I just looked up a Philly photographer. I went to her studio. I wore something plain, not revealing at all. And I got my makeup done, my hair done. And that was the start of my portfolio. And the backtrack on the music video, I reached out to somebody because on his story, he was just like, he needed somebody, to be in the video. So I was just the only female, and we went down, I think it was Kelly Drive. It was a nice little, it was like
Okay.
a cute little love song. It was cute, but I was 18. I had a dress on. I was chilling. And then I came up to Penn State. And mind you, I only had one photo shoot. So I came up to Penn State and the main campus, I did 2 and 2. So when
Okay.
I went up to the main campus, I noticed there was, fashion clubs, modeling clubs and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me see what's up. So I knew somebody and he ended up introducing me to the auditions. Like he told me to pull up and I pulled up. And I auditioned just like everybody else, and they gave me the opportunity to be in the show. I was
Nice.
super nervous when I walked. Of course, that was my first time walking on the runway, but I still
Yes.
did
Okay.
it. So,
It's just been nonstop. Nonstop worry and concern for the family and friends of Kada Scott. Desperate for answers, they canvassed the neighborhood where she was last seen 1 week ago, handing out flyers, trying to raise awareness around her disappearance and find any clues that might help them learn where she could be.
We're just trying to figure out more as much as we can.
Investigators tell us
She's
Scott
in communication with family and friends. She seems to be a very bright, energetic woman who enjoys family and friends, and this has never happened in her 23 years on Earth. Coupled with what reports we were getting about this harassment from individuals, we're trying to figure out who they are. As I said, the more eyeballs I can get on this young lady's photo, we're hoping that anyone can lead us in the right direction.
Any leads on that group who was harassing her?
Not in this time, but again, we're kind of in this investigation's kind of in its infancy, and detectives, we're getting a lot of help from our partners, and we're going to continue to investigate this very thoroughly. She was last seen by her mother on 10/4. Certainly. The family of Miss Kada Scott, who's a 23-year-old black female who stands 5'6", 120 pounds, reported her missing on 10/5/25. She was last seen by her mother the night before at approximately 9:50 p.m. when Miss Scott was leaving for work. We do know she did arrive at work. She works at a nearby nursing home. However, we know that she left prior to her shift's completion. Detectives are currently canvassing the neighborhood for video. We're interviewing friends and family, and we're analyzing cell phone data. What's troubling about this case is, number one, you have a 23-year-old young lady who has completely disappeared. We have no cell phone activity or social media activity, and she's not reached out to family or friends. In the days prior to her disappearance, Ms. Scott related to family and friends that unknown individuals or person had been harassing her via phone. We're investigating that. We're trying to learn more. That being said, we want the public to take a really good look at Ms. Scott's photo. Any information, no matter how small, it would be of great use to detectives investigating this case. Any information can be forwarded to our tip line, or you can call Northwest Detectives directly at 215-686-3353.
When does her shift usually end, and how early did she leave?
We're not exactly sure the exact time she left. It was pretty soon after arriving. She worked a 10 p to 6 a shift, overnight shift. In her social media, I'm not sure if you've been able to scrutinize it. Is there anything there, like internal messages, anything that suggests that she's left for a reason? Thus far, nothing like that's been located. However, we're doing a deep dive on all her social media as we speak, and those are things we're going to be looking at. Internal messages, posts, or things like that. But as of right now, then nothing. At this time, I mean, all I can say right now is that a 23-year-old girl has been seen in 4 days. There is that her explaining to family that she'd been harassed by an individual or individuals via phone. So we do have some concern, more so than usual. So again, we're just pleading for the public to take a really good look at Miss Scott's photo and let us know if you've seen her.
Did her coworkers report any strange behavior when she was working that night?
We did interview coworkers. There was nothing too extravagant in their statements. We're still in the process of doing that, so.
Do we know what the harassment was about? If it was somebody that she even knows?
We're still trying to get to the bottom of that. Again, we don't know who that person was. And we do know that one. We don't know who it was. So we're trying to determine that. We're still in the process of doing interviews, seeing if we can figure out who the person doing this harassment was.
Did she arrive to work like via car? Is the car missing or?
She arrived to work in her car. That car has been recovered by police, has been processed for evidence and analyzed. She did not leave in her car. That's correct. Correct. It was located in the parking lot. The police did recover that, and then we did forensically process that vehicle.
Cameras on the building show any sort of how she got where she went then after?
Unfortunately, no. We're still in the process of canvassing the nearby neighborhood in hopes of gathering some video.
And her phone doesn't show like live share activity?
On an initial inspection, no.
But that's the last time that you've seen her?
Yeah. The last time was at work by coworkers shortly after her arrival at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so make sure you pay attention to the second police briefing, because this second police briefing is related to, they went out and did a search and people wanted to know, well, the media wanted to know what led you to this area. They also are going to talk about the clothing item that they found and if it was related to her disappearance. There's also other questions that are posed about the interview, about any new information that they may have. And also the media wanted to know why the cadets were out there searching, because the media was saying that there were concerns about them being new and not possibly trained. And so he is going to respond to that as well. And then immediately after that, we'll get into her father interview. It's just a quick interview that her father did after the search, and he gives an update about what the police relayed to him. So listen to this.
And that was the last place she was seen, around 9:45 on the 4th. We've been investigating that since that time, really trying to do everything we can to figure out where she might have went. Like, her car was found at the location. No one has received a call from her. We know her phone is not in operation anymore. So a lot of what we're doing is following the evidence that we have, witnesses that gave us information. Some of that evidence has led us to this area. We've looked in other areas too. This particular area, the Aubrey Arboretum, all right, it's a very large area. It's all wooded area mostly. There's a lot of fences and activity going on in there. So it wasn't very easy to search with just a few detectives. So we enlisted the help of our academy classes. They're here. They were given specific instructions by our crime scene investigation people, and we're just looking in the area. To this point, nothing has been found that's related to the investigation. We found some clothing items, which we have no idea if they're related to this or not, but they were taken just to look into. But at this point, we're just doing everything we can. We try to do that on missing person investigations. We do everything we can to make sure we run down every lead. This particular case led us to this area. It's a very large area, and we had to do what we had to do. It's not the first time we've done this. I've been in the department over 35 years. I've worked in the Detective Bureau a long time. We've done this in missing persons in the past, where we elicited the help of the academy.
Frank, how concerned are you about, she's been gone almost a week now, no cell phone, no bank, no any trace, right?
Yeah, 23-year-old who, is a social media person, as we hear. She disappeared off social media, so it's concerning. Any young people today, they can't live without having a phone in their hand. So that's a concern. You left her car behind. It's certainly something that's not usual of somebody who's missing voluntarily.
Did a tip from a witness or surveillance video or anything like that place her here? Is that why you guys came here?
I'm not going to, I'll say our evidence did. I'm not going to get into the specifics of our investigation at this time. All right, but our evidence that we have put us in this location. So we're going to be thorough and make sure we search the location. Well, we use specially trained dogs. They went through early this morning. They're finished, and now we're really looking with people just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary. We're using our recruits. They're very, very new. So we have detectives and experienced people following them. If they see something, they're going to signal us, and then we'll check it. If it's not relevant, they'll just keep walking through. But very large areas that are going to form a line, and they're going to do a grid search.
55 acres of wooded terrain, how long could this realistically take?
Well, it could. We're serving this area, the area, I guess it's north of Washington Lane. I don't know if this search will go on in the south side. We didn't have a lot that led us there. Our information had this side where cars drive in and out of. So that's where we're going to look. So I don't know how long this will take. I really couldn't tell you, but they're here. They've gotten started. I'm sure you'll be able to see them from the sky, and they're working now.
Commissioner, has the department been able to reach the man or person who's suspected of harassment?
I'm not going to comment on our interviews and all. We're reaching out to everybody we can.
There's been an interview, though?
No, I don't know who that individual is yet, to be honest with you.
You mentioned pieces of clothing that were found.
Yeah, they're just items that were found lying in there, so we don't know if they have anything to do with our investigation. It's nothing relevant to this investigation so far that I could say we've discovered.
So what are you guys going to be looking for, and what would be something that would stand out? What was the direction given to now the people who are...
Well, I guess to look for anything that could help us. If there's something in there that doesn't belong, we're gonna take a look at it and analyze it. May not be anything to do with this, but we'll be able to see if it does.
Are you, I don't know if official is the right word, but are you now looking at this as foul play or kidnapping, abduction, that sort? Is that what we're looking at right
I'll stick to it's a troubling missing person report. It's certainly troubling, so we don't know if foul play was involved, but we certainly see some signs that this person wasn't voluntarily missing. So because of that, we're doing everything we can to figure out who she contacted and where she is now.
Grid
All right?
search?
Yeah, they're going to do a grid search. I mean, they're going to line up and carefully walk where we couldn't do it with a couple people. They're going to do it with a few hundred people, walk down to see if we can cover a lot of area quickly. That's all. All right?
Did you say how long, or you're uncertain?
I'm uncertain. Yeah, as long as it takes. I mean, if for any reason we have to stop, then it'll take a little longer. But hopefully we can do it a lot quicker than we would have with a few detectives. All right?
One of several locations in the city that you're looking at. What are the others?
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna get into the active investigation, but the other locations were nothing like this. So there were locations we could check out with investigators. This is a vast area that we had to do what we can to cover.
No, but we about to go to the club soon. This is my outfit of the day. Cute little bow bag, wet t-shirt, black shorts, black heels, jewelry. You already know, bust down ring, French tip on the nose, and necklaces, yeah. And right now we about to we already drunk a little bit, but now we about to leave. Honestly, about to go to the club. So yeah, I'm gonna see you later. How it goes.
Feel worried, concerned.
Kada Scott's dad stood on the side of Washington Lane in Germantown in disbelief. Across the road, dozens and dozens of cadets searched for any sign of the missing 23-year-old. They methodically looked through every inch of the Aubrey Arboretum.
They told us that there's no confirmation of any type of body or, anything like that. So
They told us too right now. Yeah, they're just doing the good. Does that give you hope that so far there's been no signs of?
So that's good news, right?
So I can try and see if I can give you guys another view. It may take me a little while to get up to the corner to show you what else is going on. But I know we have new folks joining by the second. So once again, bear with me, folks. For those who are just joining now, this is a grid search. Let's see, right now I got a different area. It's hard to see, but they're also, you can see a blue shirt there. You can see they're also searching this part of the grid search here, of this part of the Arboretum. Every now and again you can hear them talking in unison, the cadets. So once again, for those folks who are joining us, this is a grid search in relation to the missing person case of Kada Scott, 23 years old. Went to work on Saturday night at a nursing home where she works. She works overnight shift between like 10 and 6 in the morning. She arrived at work, was at work, did not finish her shift, and somehow just disappeared and vanished. Her car was found at work, so she didn't drive away in her car. Her phone was turned off, so that's another issue as well. So no, we're in the like Mount Airy, Germantown area. Just for folks who might not know where this Arboretum is. I'm just walking up to this next stop over here to kind of give you a view of what else I see, just to show you how big of a police presence it is. So right now I am walking up to Ardley. So this will be the corner of Ardley and Washington Lane. And I'm just going to give you just another vantage point of kind of just how big this scene is and how much of this area is locked down. So, as you can see. So, for those, these are all law enforcement vehicles here as well, lining the Arboretum here on Ardley Street. You can see how far that goes down. So, a massive, massive police presence and operation here, as they've been, you know, on this case around the clock since she was reported missing over the weekend. So that's kind of the latest from here, guys. I will maybe hop on later to see if I can give another update as to if anything happens or if anything changes. But so far, police have not found anything yet. So there you heard somebody just said it's uptown. So you just, for those folks who are needing to know exactly where the area is. Hey Lorena, what's happening is police are searching the Arboretum here in relation to a missing persons case. Kada Scott, 23 years old. So police now are just doing massive grid searches in the Arboretum over here. And obviously you can see how deep brush and wooded this area is, so it will take a very, very long time to clear this area, so to speak. So this is where the police tape starts, from here all the way down. And as of right now, police only saying that they got tip and information that brought them here. They would not go as far yet to confirm on the record that this is foul play or kidnapping or abduction was involved. Only saying that, of course, this is very troubling what they're seeing. So one last look before I leave you guys. So you can see, forgive my camera work.
You can see that they are now in this area. If you can't tell, they move in unison based off of the commands. I didn't even notice there's more of them down there too. More cadets coming out of the woods over there as well. So it looks like they're about to clear this area right now. So they've all come to the...
Everybody gonna support what we do. Not everybody gonna have the mindset that you have. You know, the vision that you got, not everybody gonna see it. So, you know, you gotta just leave all that behind. Don't, you know, let nobody dim your light on whatever you want to do. Keep progressing and getting better, because it's only gonna get better if you just keep
Y'all
going.
too, for
Feel
sure.
me? And you was in control of everything that happened, good or bad. Like, don't nobody got more control over everything that you do more than you. So anybody else negative opinion or however they feel, man, look, just let them have it. You only gonna keep growing and getting better. So speaking of that, what goals you got to, like, you know, becoming more, if you have the you know, if you want to, like, what do you plan on doing to, like, reach that next level with being a fashion designer? Like, you know, getting more followers, subscribers, you know, becoming a bigger name. Like, what you gonna do to take those? Yeah.
So things that I learned, especially I'm gonna just start with my very first collection. So I started, like I said, I started from scratch. I started with things that I already had, and I took it and ran with it. And my pieces were considered pieces versus merch. And when you do pieces, you are the highest paid out of everybody else, because merch, you know, anybody could do merch. And
Yeah.
being as though my brand is K Couture, and I started in 2023, and then I did in 2024. I had the highest, you know, paid collection at Penn State for the fashion show. Being as though I did pieces, and it wasn't even. This was like I said yes before they even told me that they were going to pay me. Like that, I genuinely love it. So when they told me, I'm like, wow, like this is a dope thing, and I could put this in my portfolio. And you know, my fashion career, you know what I mean. In the future, I'm just going to tell them, like, when I started my fashion career, I was already getting paid up front in college. You know what I mean? So I already have like a strong foundation for my brand. And so basically every year what I learn, I'm a visual person. So I make presentations, and I keep everything in my presentations. And then each collection I write, you know, what did you learn last season? What did you learn this season? How you wanna, you know what I mean? So for example, the very first collection, somebody who I knew ended up taking me to the show, but that was a bad idea, because it was just like I like to handle everything by myself. I can't depend on anybody else. So what I learned from that was, okay, cool. Next season, I'm gonna get a black truck. So last year, 2024, I got myself a black truck. They pulled up with the chauffeur. You know what I mean? He
Yep.
carried my stuff in the car. I pulled up on time. I left on time. It was very professional. And yeah, I carry myself very well. That's one of the things I
Yeah.
invested in. That's
Yeah.
a
Keep
great
doing
investment. What are some other things? Last year, 2024, I definitely, okay, so I'm a painting artist, right?
it. Yeah.
So last year I came up with the idea like, okay, cool, you're blessed enough to be able to come back, so make it count. So I'm like, okay, I'm a painting artist and a fashion designer. So I came up with the idea to do a wearable art / fashion collection. So what I did was I put my art, basically my art on clothing, and they were my art pieces that some I already made, some was, inspired in that moment or from Pinterest or, anything I see on my phone, like just my mood. So, and it was just really dope because the art was identical as, the art that was on the canvas.
Yeah.
And each, art tells a story within itself. So
Always. Yeah.
each, model had their own art on them, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was great. Those are some things I improved in, like just making everything have a meaning. Because the first one, I didn't necessarily. Well, actually, I'm lying. The first year, I paid homage to my cousin because, like we said, we from Philly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we all lost somebody and stuff like that. And I feel like
Yeah.
that as well. Like me thinking about my cousin, definitely it gives me a different type of adrenaline because he was
Right.
in this as well. So it's just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this for him. So I made jerseys for him, you know what I mean, etc. Was repping his name on the stage, like,
Nice.
and yeah. So
Nice.
I improve on the meanings. I improve on transportation. Um, just anything you could think of. Customs, like for example, this year, what I'm doing differently, I'm doing customs. So not
Okay.
only am I doing a collection for the fashion show, I chose people who I generally feel like will represent my brand in a nice way, and they have their own things going on as well. I
Mhm.
chose a couple of people to wear some customs for Blue and White Weekend, which follows, the fashion show.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be real dope. And when you make customs for people, you build that trust and loyalty, and you get, your brand spreads out by word of mouth, and
Yeah.
the pieces are tailored to each person that you work with. And yeah, so that's how I'm
That's good.
progressing. Just really getting specific about everything.
One of my friends in Philadelphia is missing. I'm taking this extremely personal because this is somebody that used to be like my best friend in middle school. I helped her a little bit train for Miss Pennsylvania this past summer. And I think it's just crazy that she just up and disappeared. And it's not a situation of like, oh, she was in the hood or anything like that. Like, she was at work, which her job is literally in Philadelphia suburbs. And she has not been seen since Saturday. I'm attaching some pictures so y'all can see what she looks like. If you have any awareness of where she could be, ever seen her, please contact Philadelphia police. This is extremely saddening. She said that she basically was being harassed before she disappeared. So if anybody knows anything, please, please, please say something. The news sources basically said that she was seen going into work. She clocked in for her shift, and then an hour later, she essentially left, and nobody was able to find her, and that her car is actually still at her job. This happened last Saturday, October 4th. I am only reading the news sources. I do not want to look on social media and see what things people are making up because there are a lot of things going on that's false information. I am being very optimistic and believing that my friend is okay and that she will make it home safe. I did read a police report that basically said they found some clothes and that they're getting tested for forensics, basically. But I'm being optimistic that my friend is okay. If y'all see false information, please do not engage with it because that's how it gets to spread. So please only refer to the news articles.